Alrighty then.
Alrighty then.
Screen's like in the shot. There we go.
There we go.
Now it's gone. Oh, no.
Thank you very much, Melanie. No worries indeed. You do you. Perm, what was that?
So, Tolkien.
Tolkien. I know we're deviating from Potter a little bit to discuss Tolkien today. If anybody decides to show up to the stream.
Yes. But it's going to be a short stream anyways. No, because there's so many questions going on with Tolkien right now.
There's a lot of things happening. Maybe we should wait until some people show up to really get into it.
Well, yeah, but I'm just going to ask you so you can think about them. We can discuss them in our leisure. But number one, yeah, the cats are on the attack tonight. Parm just got my hand.
Yeah, Jackson just went.
Number one, obviously the lawsuit. This actually kind of entertaining. It's actually great.
Is great. The more I know and learn, the more interesting it becomes. It's fantastic. It's a great story.
It's not going anywhere, but just it's
fun to read about.
It gets more insane the more you learn about it.
Right. Yeah, that's what I like about it. Is it's just a train wreck.
But the other things, we heard that there is going to be a reboot.
Yep, that they're
I don't think there's been any direct confirmation, like there isn't a teaser trailer or anything, but it's more than likely going to be a reboot of
The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I figured we'd talk about who we'd want to play the parts because let's face it, I mean, you can't picture anyone else in those parts.
That's what's going to be hard for me. Harry Potter is a little easier, but Lord of the Rings, they just did such a good job right out of the gate that replacing them would be very hard.
And honestly, I don't know how they're going to salvage Rings of Power.
Yeah, season 2 has been greenlit, right? So how do you recover from that awfulness, that just the bad of all of that? Where do you go from there? Are people even going to watch it?
I mean, I've said it before and I will say it again. Bezos, if that is what $1 billion got us last season, Bezos is going to have to live on food stamps if we want anything watchable.
I mean, House of the Dragon had like half that budget.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, oh. Which is why maybe it's good that Amazon is not doing the Harry Potter reboot and Max is.
We can just call it HBO Max. It's fine.
It's HBO. Right, Bim?
Bim. Maybe they just wanted to be Warner Brothers Max.
Yeah, whatever it is.
WB Max.
She just looked at you like, what are you doing?
Maximum to the extreme, Parm Pants. She knows.
Yeah.
But why don't we start there?
There's no one in the stream.
No, not yet.
With what, the reboot? Or Rings the reboot?
Yeah.
Okay. I honestly don't know how I feel about a Lord of the Rings reboot. I know Harry Potter I feel very differently about, but I don't know about redoing Lord of the Rings. The films were so good.
They definitely were.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Welcome. Yeah, they captured the spirit of it to me. They left a lot of stuff out, but didn't they say they're rebooting and doing movies, not a TV show? Or they want to do movies?
That's that's the plan. Like I said, there
So
hasn't
you're
been any confirmation like there has with Harry Potter, but
right.
there have been talks about redoing the movies.
So you're still gonna have to cut stuff out if you're doing movies.
Yeah.
Um, I just why? It's not like Harry Potter where
To show off your new special effects, make everything look cleaner.
to
I
make
don't know.
money off of a property.
I
To keep making money
Yeah,
off of a
if we want to be
property.
cynical about it, yeah, that's pretty much it.
I just feel like the difference between the Harry Potter film series and Lord of the Rings is Harry Potter was chunked up and not consistent. You didn't have consistent directors, you didn't have a consistent look. Bad plot decisions were made. Whereas Lord of the Rings was consistent, uniform, same people working on it start to finish, and the things that were cut were they made sense and they were appropriate. I didn't like everything that they cut. Like I would say, well,
Tom
wish
Bombadil.
Tom Bombadil is the big one, right? Um, like wish you would have put this in here. Wish you would have put this in here. Why didn't you include this? Um, right, the minor characters. If you could put those minor characters in there, then I guess like we'll go for it. But they're just I don't know. Those films were really well done. So why reboot it? Like Harry Potter, I could see why, but Lord of the Rings just doesn't quite make sense.
No, it definitely doesn't. And I agree with Mike. It honestly just sounds like a bad idea. I think the reason why we haven't gotten any confirmation is I think there's probably a lot of debate going on within Warner Brothers on whether it is a good idea or maybe they should do a show versus a movie if they do it. And there's probably issues with like copyright and that sort of thing with Amazon doing their own thing.
Well, I guess it would depend on who the Tolkien estate wants to give the rights to, who's going to make them. But I just like if you're going to change it so that Saruman dies the way he's supposed to die and what happens to the Shire actually happens to the Shire, then like okay. But again, I feel like those decisions were made very purposefully
You
for the
know,
films.
uh, low key, I think that the Lord of the Rings, you should get the guy who did Hamilton. What was his name?
Lin Manuel
Lin
Miranda.
Manuel Miranda, because I think Lord of the Rings would work great as like a musical.
It is a musical,
That's what I'm
pretty much.
saying.
Like
Like, there's no other fantasies I could possibly think of. I'm not even a fan of musicals. I was a fan of Hamilton,
right.
so I guess that counts. But I, I think it would be great as a musical.
I
If
mean,
you want to redo it, do something creative with it.
there are a lot of songs in Lord of the Rings. Like a lot of songs.
Broadway production of Lord of the Rings. They need to do it. Forget a movie, forget a show.
Broadway Lord of the Rings.
Broadway
I mean,
Lord of the Rings.
I would be there for that. I would watch that.
It would be great.
Have Lin Manuel Miranda write original pieces for the different characters. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I just say him because
He's
I don't like
he's
musicals, but he made me like a musical.
yeah,
So
fair enough. And he wrote all the music for Moana and Encanto.
for Encanto, I didn't realize he did it for Moana.
He did
Okay.
Moana as well. Yep. It was his first Disney movie that he did, I think, was Moana.
Out there killing it.
Which they're remaking Moana. Just
Now
as,
that is a cash grab.
like I know this
I don't
is a
want
Lord of the Rings stream, but The Rock confirmed that they are making a live action Moana. And he is going to play Maui. Why? Why?
They don't have any rights to Lord of the Rings. That's why.
Disney Lord of the Rings would be dope. They got the budget for that. I'm just saying.
I hate to admit it,
They
just
c-
because it's Disney, but yeah,
Yeah.
they would definitely do a musical.
Sam and Frodo up at Mount Dew. Sam just yelling to Frodo, "Let it go, let it go, Master Frodo, drop the ring into the fires of Mount Doom."
Total opposite. Frozen. This will be melted.
That actually worked. I was trying to go for more lyrics, but I think that's all I had.
The biggest problem with if they were going to do
Lava flows down on the mountain tonight.
the only problem
Not a hobbit
I
to be
see
seen.
is just who do you get to play the parts?
Kingdom of desolation, and it looks like I'm the king.
Is this the direction this conversation is
The
going?
wargs are howling like this swirling storm inside. It fits.
Gonna get hit with like 2 different copyrights. Warner Brothers and Disney. Just what we need. The 2 biggest companies in the world.
Brothers doesn't own Lord of the Rings. It's fine.
Amazon would get us, but they're too busy with
Demetrius Polychron.
Yeah, that dude. Oh my god, this guy just.
This guy.
The more you look into it, the weirder it gets.
The better it gets, honestly. The more fantastic it gets.
He is insane. Like I might have to do a quick video on him just because the whole story.
It's too good not to share with people.
He sends Christopher Tolkien the book and is like, "Hey,
Well, no, it's not Christopher Tolkien. It's the grandson now, because Christopher Tolkien is dead.
when did he die though?"
A few years ago.
Yeah, this was way back in like 2017 or something. No, it was before that because he sent it, and then I think in 2017 his lawyers got in contact. Either way, Christopher Tolkien ghosts him. His lawyers get involved a couple of years later, reach out to the estate. Tolkien estate is like, nah, we're not interested. But, thanks for playing.
Right.
You think that would be the end of it at that point? All right, so I'll just release it as a fan fiction and consider it one of.
A day. Right.
No, he has it. He finishes up the book and everything. He tacks a copyright on. I don't know if that book is actually
Legally copyrighted.
Legally has a copyright. If he somehow found a way to get any of that copyright,
Right.
And then he goes to Christopher Tolkien's house and just leaves the book at his house.
Yep.
And doesn't hear anything back.
Nothing. Not a word.
So he didn't get a no.
That was 2019. He left the manuscript.
Yeah.
Correct? Yeah. Okay. So we got 2 years. Not a peep from the Tolkien estate. Not a word. The man continues.
He thought, hey, they didn't say no. So, and even the whole, printing it and everything, which the fact that he is selling it for full price is ridiculous. You can buy the book for $28 hardcover.
Hardcover copy.
Off of
$28.
Amazon. Ironic.
Guess what it's called? Guess what it's called? The Fellowship of the King. Book 1. The Fellowship of the King.
Happy that he didn't just get it taken down, that he could actually sell it.
It's a sequel to the Lord of the Rings series and takes place 2 decades after the events of the Lord of the Rings. So Samwise Gamgee's daughter is in it. There are also 2 Chinese characters named Zhang and Pingyang.
Did you like actually read the
I
entire
read this
sample?
like big review that somebody did on it.
Oh, okay.
There's 2 Chinese characters in it. It's about Samwise Gamgee's
I
daughter.
read the first page of the sample on Amazon and I caught like maybe 6 red flags.
Oh, I haven't read the sample. No, I just read this review. Pretty sure I either saved it or I favorited it in here. Here it is.
But $250 million. He thinks he can get $250 million. You know what he's doing? He is asking for $250 million in hopes that Amazon's lawyers just turn around and say, look, we don't have time for this. Here's $1 million. Now go fuck off.
This is the independent review rating of the story.
That 1 star of the rating.
No, it's a 4.0.
What?
The Fellowship of the King, Book 1 in Demetrius Polychron's The War of the Rings series, offers J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings fans a well-written, expanded, and appropriately epic return to Middle-earth.
What? Lost all credibility.
Edward
I will give
Edward
it this.
Sung wrote the review.
I did read a couple pages of it, and honestly, the guy is a good writer. He's not Tolkien. In comparison, it's garbage. It's like if
Well, the thing is, though, no one is Tolkien. No one ever will be Tolkien. So that's you're not gonna write like Tolkien and get published today anyway. So
it sounds more like a young adult fiction. This fanfic.
The Fellowship of the King, the opening volume of Demetrius Polychron's ambitious sequel to J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, picks up in the Shire's Bag End 2 decades following the events of that saga in the 22nd year of the reign of High King Elisar. Eleanor Gamgee Gardner, daughter of Samwise, is about to celebrate her debutante party when blue wizards from the east arrive with terrible news. The original Rings of Power, the last of those powerful relics created by Celebrimbor and corrupted by Sauron, have been discovered. Dark forces seeking the return of Morgoth, Sauron's former master, hope to recover the Rings of Power that will enable Morgoth to bring all of Middle-earth under his control. Eleanor and her 2 hobbit friends, Fastred and Theo, son of Mary Brandybuck, join Crown Prince Eldarion, the half-elven son of King Elisar and Queen Arwen. Queen Arwen?
You don't know?
She like marry her son after Aragorn died? Like what? His
Customs
uncles
are weird.
Eladan and Elrohir, and Alatar, one of the Blue Wizards, on a quest to find the Rings of Power and prevent Middle-earth from falling to Morgoth's servants of evil. There's more, but even if Polychron's tale doesn't measure up to Tolkien's masterpiece as a literary work, and to be clear, it doesn't claim to, the writing is more than serviceable, and there's no denying the author's affection for his source material. Also notable are the ways in which Polychron expands from the original with the introduction of Chinese-inspired characters Zhang and Pingyang and moments of genuinely terrifying violence that would not have been acceptable in Tolkien's day.
I guess,
And there's more,
this review was written before. I guess the animosity I have to him is that he has the gall to sue them over this. Because I guess as far as the story goes, it's a good story. It's a good fan fiction. But the fact that you can sue someone. And the other thing is the book was published after The Rings of Power came out.
Yeah, so the whole thing does very much sound like the plot to the Rings of Power show. Girl hobbits returning Morgoth to power, although it's Sauron in the show, whatever. There's some similar themes there. Going with the blue wizards was probably smart because they're not actually in the Lord of the Rings. Could
So much of what he put in there is, and that's the problem.
I mean, it is a fan fiction.
Yeah,
It is a fan fiction. That is what it is.
and I don't know.
And now he's suing Amazon and the Tolkien estate. Or no, the Tolkien estate is suing him, right?
No, he's suing. That's why it's just so shocking. Like, I think he just thinks it's like a
Oh,
publicity stunt.
yeah, that's right. He is suing both of them. Yeah, he's suing both of them. Ripping off his book that ripped off The Lord of the Rings.
I think he's just hoping that they'll settle outside of court. But I
Yeah,
have a
maybe he'll
feeling
just
that
get a nice chunk of change out of the whole thing.
Amazon's lawyers aren't going to go for that because
I have a
he has
feeling that
no ground to stand on.
Amazon's lawyers and the Tolkien estate, I'm sure, has pretty good lawyers, are going to look at this and just get it thrown out.
Yeah.
It's not going to go anywhere. It's going to get thrown out. But yeah. The guy's name is great.
I'm just saying
Demetrius Polychron?
they might and probably should countersue because he's not just releasing a fan fiction, he's, selling it for money.
He's making money off of someone else's property.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he'll probably get thrown out.
If
He'll get hit
anyone
with a
has the
cease and
most
desist, and then he's going to be like, no, because, well, he's going to say no. And then they'll force him to take it down.
If anyone has the most ground to stand on, it is the Tolkien estate because they didn't even give Amazon all the rights to all of their stuff. Like Amazon doesn't have the rights to the character Samwise Gamgee, etc., etc. So, it'll be the Tolkien estate in the end, I think, who get it, because they have the rights to everything.
Yeah, but he's suing because of the show. But either way, this is a good segue. So speaking of that terrible show,
Yeah, what about it?
what can they do in the next season that would make you watch it? Let's not even say make it good. Let's just say make it something that you can sit and watch and not like have your blood boil like this last season.
God. I don't, because even
And don't just say make it accurate. Like, how could they change things?
Get accurate this time. Play by the rules.
You know,
I don't even want to say put dragons in it because then if they put dragons in it and they fuck them up, I'm gonna be mad. But that was my first thought is like, well, maybe put dragons in it. Maybe that would make it.
Gonna put dragons in it. But the writers are just gonna be like, it worked for House of the Dragon.
There's supposed to be dragons in it because
People love dragons right now, guys. Just throw them in. Bring Smog back. But
oh my god, if they put Smog in it, I'm gonna no. It's not time for Smog yet. It's not time. Later, Smog is later. Like, oh, if they bring in a dragon and then they bring the wrong dragon in, or
it's gonna be a fast forward.
I mean, the story of Smaug and how he takes over the mountain is cool. It's just not
happening anytime soon.
Really have any. It doesn't really play a whole lot into like the Rings of Power main plot. I mean, I guess you could make it a B plot. If you made it a B plot, it could work.
Make it a B plot and then just slowly turn it into an A plot. You don't even know. Being more and more invested, more screen time. I don't even think they could because their biggest problem is the writing was awful.
The writing was so bad.
And the cinematography was terrible. Like, it didn't even come down to the actors, the
No,
accuracies.
well, some of the actors were not good.
So I don't. I mean, yeah, some
Some of
are a
them
little
were
bad.
not good.
Uh,
You had two actors in that show with really good chemistry. The guy that played Elrond and the guy that played Durin, like they were great on screen together. But they did not have anything good to do. But they could have been really good. Like they were great and they just didn't have a good story or writing to help them out.
very
They
true.
were good.
Yeah, the writing was just so bad.
Like I don't care about any of these characters. I don't care about Throndir and his wench girlfriend.
That was the elf that fought for the humans and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't even remember the characters' names. That's how uninvested I was.
Yeah. Like I don't care about that plot line. I don't want to see any more of that.
But my point was that even if you had the most accurate show right now and the best actors, the pacing was terrible. The special effects was pretty bad. The green screen was okay, but a lot of the special
It was
effects were bad.
it was really hit and miss with the
Yeah,
CGI. It was like the landscape shots of the cities was pretty, and then it was like happy
happy
420.
see, this is how I know I'm getting old. I didn't even realize it was 420. Man. Oh, you did?
Yeah, I knew.
Oh, wow. Okay. Make me feel like the only old person. I'm telling you right now, 420 is the only way I could watch season 2.
Like all the plots and where they're going. You had Sauron try to get with Galadriel. I don't know how you recover from that for me.
The next time someone asks me what it's like to have ADD, I'm just going to say, watch Rings of Power. That's what it's like. Start
Having to
building
sit
up to
through it.
something, start getting into it, and then switch. Start building up something, getting into it, and switch. That's my brain on ADHD. Like, yes, this is it. I'm totally invested. Let's go. I'm good. Oh, hey, look at that.
I mean, I feel like we'll watch season 2 just to watch it.
Don't know. I'm not. You can tell me how it is if it's worth
We're
watching.
not
I'm
gonna
not.
like do a watch party again.
I don't know if I can do that to myself.
I just assumed we would have to because people like to listen to me rant about it. But
I mean, we
I'd
probably will.
rather not.
I'm just kidding, but
I would rather not watch it, but I feel like I end up having to. Um, and it'll be awful. I'm sure it'll be awful. I literally don't know how they recover from what they did.
honestly,
Don't.
if they had just completely restarted and rebooted, I think that would have been the best thing.
Yeah, they should have just retconned everything that happened and just
Forget
started.
rebooting the movies. Reboot the show, Amazon.
Right. Don't remake 3 perfectly good movies that were lovely. Uh Fix your show.
That's a
Start your
huge flex, though. If they might just do it just to flex on Amazon. Oh, what's that? Oh, Rings of Power. So sorry. Check it out. New films, and we did them well. You're welcome, fans. Who wants some subscriptions to Max?
I just there was so much passion and love poured into those movies. I don't know how you're going to do that again.
Uh, exactly at 419. Yeah, that's stoner timing. My roommate in college turned me on to that stoner timing. I was like, yeah, okay. But honestly, that guy, whenever he was stoned, like, it was ridiculous how lucky he was, like, with timings and everything.
Oh,
Like, he'd walk into a pizza place and it'd be like a minute before closing, and they'd be like, "Oh no, but here we have this leftover pizza," and just hand him like 5 slices for free or something.
oh.
Um, there's one time he was smoking, and we were down at this gazebo, like right next to the lake that was next to the college, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like right in the open, right? And at night, campus security is going around all the time. I'm freaking out, waiting for him to finish smoking. He's like, "It's fine, it's fine." Like,
Yeah.
all right, we should get going. And he puts out his blunt, throws it away, and literally that second after he throws it away, the cops come driving by.
Nice. Nice.
And so many other things happen. It's just, I'm a believer of it.
Well, I remember there was this one time
Instincts.
we were smoking in the bathroom, and
And
our
in the boys' room?
I said the bathroom
Was
at
it the
in the
boys'
dorm.
bathroom?
No, it was in the dorm, and
Why would you do it in the bathroom?
we always smoked in the bathroom.
Why? That just seems like a very bad idea.
Blow through the vents.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be easier just to do it in your room and blow out the window? You didn't have a fan in the window?
No,
Why not?
no one had fans.
Why not?
I don't listen, man. I
Wait,
don't
did your
know.
school have air conditioning in the dorms?
I don't remember.
My school did not.
The newer dorms did. Anyway, we were smoking in the bathroom, and the head of the RAs, like the guy who managed the RAs, was coming because somebody reported the smell of marijuana in the room.
You don't do it in the bathroom.
Well, anyway, he was coming. We had no idea he was coming, and this other kid was standing outside, and like they he got into an argument with him, like totally lost his shit with him, and he got distracted by that. We had no idea. We finished smoking, and like we're chilling. And then we went down to dinner an hour later, and they were like, "Yo, he was coming to bust you guys, and then he lost his shit, totally forgot about you." So we got lucky because this other kid just lost his shit over something, and he like totally forgot to come bust us.
Donor luck.
Yep,
It's a thing.
yep.
Donor timing.
Now that we've been way off topic,
Kind of, yeah. I mean, I still say that I will need to be inebriated to watch Rings of Power season 2.
I will
I've
as
been
well.
hurt too many times by it.
I can't
I
watch it sober. Are you kidding me? I
I
can't
had
handle
faith.
that.
I believed in it.
Yeah, I didn't. I I from episode 1 I was like, I cannot watch this sober. I cannot. And I did not. Cuz I couldn't take it.
So
'Cause
it
it
brings
was
it back. Is there anything they can do?
I don't think so.
Like,
I
how do
really
you
don't think so.
turn it around?
I don't think you can. Sauron literally had to tell Celebrimbor how to make an alloy. The greatest smith of all time.
Didn't know how to make an alloy, and they like didn't know what rings were either.
There's no coming back.
Last
I don't know how you fix it. I really don't know how you fix it. The whole Numenor plot too, like I don't know how you fix that either.
you just let it die. I'm pretty sure after the first season, I bet you like views are going to be way down on season 2, and I don't think there's going to be a season 3 unless Bezos just likes throwing away money.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he likes throwing away money.
I don't think he does. He's like the second richest man in the world.
I don't know, that giant ass yacht was a waste of money. That's throwing away money.
Yeah, but not as much as just making a terrible TV show. At least that's a physical thing, you know. You can,
Invest in it, I
yeah.
guess. Sell it later or something. Yeah, I
When the
guess so.
police are after him, he just hops on his yacht, goes to international waters. He's fine.
Yeah, okay, I suppose.
Quick access to his Cayman Islands bank
Counts.
accounts.
Yeah, there you go. Every time someone says the Cayman Islands, I think of crocodilians. Every time.
Think of smuggling money tax
No,
free.
I think of little crocodilians that jaguars eat. Every time.
But speaking of wasting money, who who do you
Not
think who
crocodilians.
do you
Okay.
think HBO should waste money on to play the parts in The Lord of the Rings if they do reboot it? I mean, as far as the story goes, they did pretty good. I mean, the only thing I might change is make it like 4 movies, 5 movies, and include all that stuff that they had to cut out, you know? Get Tom Bombadil in there and stuff. I feel like Peter Dinklage would make a good Samwise, actually. I could see him as Samwise.
Too old.
Is Peter Dinklage too old? How old is he? I thought he was like mid-30s.
Well, I guess no. Technically, Frodo is like 50 when they start their journey, but hobbits aren't considered adults until they're
How
like
old is
30.
Samwise?
They're like the same age, I think.
So yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, Peter Dinklage doesn't like look extremely old, even if he is older than I think. He looks, 30ish.
I feel like he's too intellectual. Like Sam is kind of a
I mean, in terms of the look, though, again, like Samwise, all the characters in my mind are the characters in the movies because I watched the movies before the books, so I might be totally wrong on how Sam looks. I can't remember from the books.
I don't know about Peter Dink. I feel like he's too hard to play Sam. Sam is like kind of soft and nice and sweet.
So, what actor is soft and sweet? Tom Holland actually could probably play Sam or Frodo. I could see
Yeah,
him in one of those.
he's more of a hobbit than Peter Dinklage. I would picture Peter Dinklage playing Gimli before I would picture him playing one of the hobbits.
That would actually be great. I would like that. Yeah,
Like that's more the vein I would go.
that's what I do. I drink and I have my axe.
Yeah, but like Gandalf, I don't even know.
Timothy Chalamet as Pippin.
No.
Oh, speaking of Timothy Chalamet, did you see he's playing Wonka, Willy Wonka?
Yeah, you. Noel told us that.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
they're doing a Willy
I know
Wonka
he's. I don't
origin
remember
story
him
movie.
say that. I don't remember him saying that Timothy Chalamet was playing him, but I remember he talking about it. He talked about it, and they
That's how we
first.
got on the topic. He said Timothy Chalamet is playing Wonka in a Wonka prequel, and then we talked about
Right.
how he's dating Kylie Jenner and how disappointed we were in him for that.
Well,
Um,
you were disappointed,
I am disappointed, but yeah,
but the first still came out, and he actually looks really good as part.
just don't even care though. Like, oh, I'm gonna look it up. I guess I'm gonna see it, but like, I don't even care about a Willy Wonka.
But that guy's doing good because Dune 2 comes out at the end of this year, November.
Yeah,
So
I'm excited for that. I'm I am stoked for that. I just I just don't care about a Wonka movie. I don't know.
I was
Like,
never that big of a fan of Willy Wonka either, but
I mean, I liked the original. Like, I liked the original film quite a lot. I liked reading the books, but I'm like, if you're gonna do it, why not do the Great Glass Elevator, the actual sequel?
Sequel. I never read that in the Great Glass Elevator.
It's not as good.
No,
It's good, but it's not as good
fair enough.
as Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I just, I don't know. Um, I just don't care. Dune, though, I'm here for that. Yes, please. Dune Part 2. Give it to me.
You really don't have any idea who you'd want to play?
No, it's really, really hard for me to try to think of anyone else playing those characters. That's why this whole reboot thing, I'm just like, yeah. Like, who would play Gandalf? I don't know. Ian McKellen is Gandalf. He is Gandalf. Like, that's, I can't unsee it to me. I just can't.
I can have
Don't say Patrick Stewart because he's playing Dumbledore.
Bolt.
No, he cannot. No, they're two different characters. No.
He's just at that age where he just looks like a wizard. He can play any and all wizards.
All the wizards, all of them.
Yeah. Look, if Alan Tudyk can play all the animals, Patrick Stewart can play all the wizards.
I guess by that logic, I suppose. I don't know. Like Christopher Lee as Saruman was so good. Dead now.
Have Littlefinger play Saruman, that actor.
Work, I guess.
You know, actually, who might be good? The bad guy from the Glass Onion Fight Club. I can't remember
Edward
his name.
Norton,
Yeah, I can picture him with like long gray hair and stuff.
good actor. He could play like anything though.
That's
He could
true.
play anyone. He's well, maybe not Aragorn, but he could play anyone. Maybe not Legolas. See, I figured if you say
Those
Timothy Chalamet, I figured you would have picked him to play Legolas.
his face is like too. I mean, I guess he does kind of have like an elvish face, but again, I don't know. I guess he could work. Yeah,
I don't know. Honestly, I feel like Orlando Bloom could probably still play the part.
I haven't seen him
The
recently. I don't even
man,
know.
the man kind of looks the same.
Is he like Keanu Reeves? You know, never ages. Although, honestly, I've seen a couple interviews with Keanu Reeves lately. Starting to look old. Which makes me feel old because I remember him back from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
I mean, he definitely like
Aged.
he aged, but like he's still like, you know what I mean? Like,
Now, if he could still play Legolas,
I feel like he could still play the part. He doesn't
Sean
even.
Bean could play Gandalf.
He could have him come back, play a character that dies, but gets to come back this time. Ah, joke's on you. I don't know. It'd be really hard to cast for me. Like, cause
I
Viggo
think one of the
Mortensen is
hardest
just.
ones is Bilbo Baggins. Who are you gonna cast as Bilbo?
I don't know. I really don't.
At least we can all agree that Andy Serkis
Has to come
has to
back,
come back.
play Gollum.
Oh, do you see they're coming out with a Gollum video game too? It is like the era of Tolkien. Tolkien is having its moment once again.
I feel like they are really just trying to milk that cow for all it's worth.
I think so. It's just weird that everything is happening all at once from everyone.
Well, it's like the era of the remake now. I think what happened is Marvel blew up.
Well, no, we had the era of the remake. Now it's like the reboots.
Marvel blew up, so it was this nerdy property that like blew up and became really popular. So I think now they're saying, "Oh, let's do it with all the other nerdy things." Because it's a lot more mainstream now. Game of Thrones also, I think, influenced that to a certain degree.
Maybe.
Because Game of Thrones became like this huge cultural thing, and it's a fantasy show with dragons, and it became this huge thing. I think they're like, we can do this with every property we have.
I think it's a bit of laziness. Because there's so many great like IPs out there that you could do.
That probably no one
Like
has ever even heard of.
you want to hit like the nerd audience, why not do Hyperion?
Right.
No one's done it, and it's one of those like cult classic books, one of the
Icons.
greatest sci-fi novels of all time.
Right. Right.
Some people say it rivals Dune.
Yeah, it's up there. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a huge um piece of the sci-fi pantheon.
Right. Which is saying something because I mean Frank Herbert was like the Tolkien of sci-fi. You know, no one could touch him. You know, I think that's the biggest disappointment as a Game of Thrones fan when the books aren't done because Tolkien has had this pedestal for so long and there's no authors that have like even come close. And here's Martin with like this world and this story that could rival Lord of the Rings. I won't say it was better, but they were like it was like going head
The
to
depth
head
of it, the depth of it is similar. The amount of detail and
until
depth.
Martin finishes. He'll never get there because well,
Done.
Tolkien's is finished.
Right.
There's
Tolkien
always
finished
that
his books.
asterisk.
Yep. Tolkien wrote his books.
Exactly.
Yeah. 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 I mean, you look at Martin, yeah, the world building and all the history and everything is detailed to the extent that, uh, honestly,
And
that,
he created another language, Dothraki
yep, that you can learn. You can also learn Valyrian, I
and
think.
Valyrian. You can do that on Duolingo, actually.
Um,
Hi, Valyrian.
he's got these religions
Yeah,
and all this history and family trees and all, like, he's got all this stuff that Tolkien did, but he's not done. So, technically, doesn't count. You can say the same thing. Well, Rowling finished her books. Tolkien finished his book.
that,
Frank Herbert technically did.
I don't think she comes close to Tolkien though.
I don't compare them because I think they're different. Like apples and oranges to me. I don't think they're like the same thing. Well, which one's better? Which one's this? They're different.
Kind of, yes. I mean, obviously they're a little bit different, but I'm just talking on a complexity scale.
Oh, like world building and all that,
Building, yeah,
languages and stuff. Yeah, yeah,
languages,
yeah.
the intricacies, like rolling Harry Potter and everything is just very simple and streamlined.
Yes and
Meanwhile,
no. Well, Harry Potter takes place in this universe. Tolkien takes place kind of almost in another completely other.
but
To a degree. To a degree. You know what I
Harry
mean? It's
Potter kind of takes place in another
yeah,
world,
but it takes place in 1990s England.
but magical.
Right, but like there's the Muggle world and all of that. Tolkien takes place in Middle Earth and he's got an entire origin story for this entire place and all this like he wrote a Bible for God's sake.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
It's um
It's the same idea.
It's just nuts.
It's
The
just
amount of
Tolkien did a lot more. But the only author who has ever come close to rivaling him is Martin. And Martin just he can't finish.
for whatever reason.
So close.
2 books, man. You just need 2 books. Supposedly almost done with the next one, like any day now, buddy.
But yeah,
This
I
is
mean,
also quite a bit longer. Like a lot longer.
yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure all 3 Lord of the Rings are shorter than just A Dance with Dragons.
Maybe. But then you got to include the Hobbit and stuff in there too.
So Dance with Dragons and Feast for Crows, that's the entire Silmarillion, Hobbit, Lord of the Rings right there.
I
Just
guess when you
saying.
put it like that too, it also
For
is
just
just.
sheer volume of writing, Martin has written physically a lot more.
But I guess that also points out that it's not always the quantity, but the quality.
Oh,
Because
absolutely. Absolutely.
Tolkien's like, I don't need any more. I can teach you
That's
everything in just these 4 books or the 5 books, Silmarillion in there. But yeah, I mean that was about it.
also has 50 different character perspectives going on in his books. Like
Well, yeah,
no songs.
there are some songs.
Not like Lord of the Rings.
Well, no,
Not like Lord of the Rings. I know there's like Jenny from Old Stones and all that, but not like the 50 bajillion Elven songs that we have to listen to or read when we read Lord of the Rings.
not the same.
Not even close.
But that's pretty much it. That's pretty much everything that I was.
I'm sorry I couldn't give you any casting. It's very hard. I can't think of anyone because all I could think of are the cast from the movies.
I don't know, but there's no one else you could see. Like, push those characters out of your mind, and who else kind of reminds you of them?
I have to really think about it. Like, really think about it. I don't know if I could do just spur of the moment like that. Doesn't help that we got no input from anyone.
That's true.
But I don't know.
Well, we posted the stream really late.
Yeah, I don't really have much. I mean, I didn't want to talk too much about Mr. Polychron because I figured we were going to do a video about that. Um,
About that time,
I
we
think it's
calling
about
it.
that. I think it's about that time.
Go have some dinner. Right,
Food
Farman?
sounds good.
Yes.